Diamond Dynasty in the Show 19 has been a pretty enjoyable experience this year, with a ton of stuff to do and a really nice variety of players to use for your team. One of the best new features this year was the addition of Signature Series cards. They're pretty much the Immortals from the Show 18, but done much better. Now there's different ways to earn them rather than just mindlessly grinding stats, and there's so many more of them, which makes for a great variety in how people build their teams. We have a pretty nice pool of players to choose from right now, but San Diego Studios keeps adding more and more. So we're going to be talking about the 10 active players that I think deserve to get a Signature Series card this year. Now most of these guys are washed up veterans, but we're going to try and have some fun with it regardless. Let's go ahead and get right into the video. Despite him not being the best player in the present day, back in his Yankee days, Robinson Cano was really the man. He was consistently one of the best all-around players in baseball, being a complete hitter, a really solid defender, and overall, just a big swag beast. Although he already has a pretty decent Yankee card, having a Signature Series card ranked somewhere in the high 90s would be appropriate for a player of his caliber. Just tone up the hitting stats a bit, and maybe juice that defense slightly, and there you go, you have a solid Signature Series card. Well, let's be honest here, you either hate Bartolo Colon or you love him. But regardless of any personal feelings or opinions, he's the oldest player still active today, and he's had a pretty strong and memorable career. Even though he's not quite a Hall of Famer, a Signature Series card would be a nice touch to commemorate what he's done so far. Now as for what team it could be, there's kind of a lot to choose from. It could be the Mets when he hit the home run that shocked the world, but in all reality, it'll most likely be the Indians because he won a Cy Young award then, and that's when he was in his first prime. One thing's for sure though, and it's that people would go absolutely crazy if San Diego Studios dropped this card. Not to mention the deadbeat dad rating would be at least 99 too. Alright, now this one's kind of surprising that it actually hasn't happened yet, as Albert Pujols is one of the most iconic and best players of our whole generation, so he's a pretty obvious choice for a Signature Series card. He's a clear-cut Hall of Famer, and I'm pretty sure that Pujols is going to get one of these, like 99.86% sure, and it would be another Cardinals card. Whoa, Cardinals card, that's a tongue twister. And his hitting stats would have to be absolutely nuts. Definitely geared more towards Pujols in his early part of his career, and not now with the Angels. Josh Donaldson has been one of the best players in the 2010s, and we can actually say that now because the 2010s are finally almost wrapping up, but he's had some truly amazing seasons under his belt, and although he's dealt with some injuries in recent years, it shouldn't take away from how good he was earlier. He's another guy that I think is kind of surprising to not have gotten one of these cards yet, being a former MVP winner and whatnot, but I definitely think he's due for one in the future. Either way, that card is going to be nasty at the plate and nasty in the field as well. Speaking of another best of our generation, Buster Posey has been one of the best catchers of our generation since he made his debut all the way back in 2010. And although he's not exactly playing catcher every day like he used to, and really isn't quite the hitter he used to be, holy shit, he fell off. A Signature Series card would definitely be appropriate for him, because his prime was really good. His power numbers would certainly be decent on it, and his contact would have to be maxed out for sure. This is another one that I'm almost certain we're going to be seeing in the near future. Everybody's favorite utility man, Ben Zobrist, already has a pretty good diamond card in the game, but him being a veteran and a good player makes him a prime candidate for one of these cards. He's also a fan favorite, as there's nobody who really dislikes Ben Zobrist, and if they do, chances are they're an Indians fan. Hell, this guy even killed the Yankees when he was with Tampa, and I still love him. I'm sure his card would be a hit. Over the last few years, Max Scherzer's really put himself on the map as a future Hall of Famer and one of the best pitchers of our generation. I've been saying that a lot, it's kind of like a recurring theme here, that all these guys are really nasty at one point in their career. But Max Scherzer is still nasty to this day. In fact, I'd say he's nothing short of nasty as f***. And there's no reason he shouldn't have a nasty card to go along with that nastiness. You know, other than that, there's not much to say other than the fact that he fits the bill perfectly, and he'd have to be a 99 overall, no doubt about it, because he's really the fucking GOAT. The San Francisco Giants are like the team that veterans go to when their careers are just about dead. Like a crappy old car dealership, but for washed up baseball players instead. That's pretty much what happened with Evan Longoria, and although he was struggling for a bit before his trade there, it's all been downhill since. But back in the day, he was pretty good with the Rays, and that could definitely warrant a new card with some crazy power numbers. Maybe not quite a 99 overall, but a 96 or 97 would be about right to celebrate the days when he was actually still good. Speaking of guys out of their prime, what the hell happened to Ryan Zimmerman? He fell off a cliff after like 2010, had some decent years since then, but really nothing special has happened to him. He used to be one of the better players in all of baseball, and it would definitely make sense for him to have a special card for when he was actually good. You know, now that I think about it, there's a lot of washed out players on this list. It's almost like that's the theme here or something. And finally, the last player on our list is another veteran, but this one actually had a good season last year, so he's not too washed up. Everybody's favorite vet, Nick Markakis, and of course his signature series card would be from his time with the Baltimore Orioles. And that card would be absolutely loaded in the contact area, but the power would probably be a little bit lackluster. Either way, it would be cool to see him get a card, as he fits the theme of older players who are past their best days. Well guys, that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more like this. And let me know in the comment section below, what player do you want to see get a signature series card? As always, thank you so much for watching. I'm out. Peace.